Again, I'll explain about this stuff later. Let me go straight to the song. I want to say a little bit about the grammar of German. I've suggested several times that the grammar is really hard, or hard. Well, yeah, it's hard, but not completely so. I mean, one of the difficult things about German is word order. The order in which words come. That's part of grammar. And that's almost fun. It's hard and you have to think in a different way, but it's fun in a way. If you look at this German, Mein Vater war ein Wandersmann, that's exactly the order that you would say this in English. There's the subject, there's the simple predicate, father was. My father was a wanderman. But then you look at the second clause, und mir steckt's auch im Blut, and me sticks it also in the blood, and me sticks it also in the blood. That doesn't really make any sense in English. I don't know if you could figure out what was being said, but that's the way you have to say it in German. Steckt es. Here's the subject, here's the simple predicate. It sticks to me. To make that English, we would say, and it sticks also in my blood. We wouldn't say to me. It sticks also in my blood. That still isn't really English, but notice that the verb is second. That's one of the things about German. The verb should be the second element in a sentence. The first element here is the reflexive pronoun, and to me. So there has to come the verb. In English we would say, and it. Well, it would still be second, but we would put the it here. But you can't do that in German. Since that's already in that position, the verb wants to be second. And so the subject has to go after it. And it sticks to me also in the blood. Therefore wander I. Now see, there's the first element. It is a, what do you call it, a transitional adverb. Therefore. So you can't say, therefore I wander. We would say in English, therefore I wander as lively as long as I can. But in German, the second element needs to be the verb. So they say, therefore wander I, lively, or fleetly. So long I can, as long as I can, und schwenke meinen Hut, and wave my hat. Alright, and wave my hat. That's okay. Now, I'm trying to only limit myself to word order. There is another thing involved called inflections. That's where German gets difficult. Why is there an E on here? And why is there an EN on here? Why meinen Hut? Whereas it was mein Vater. Why? Well, that's fun, but that's intricate. And I'll tell you more about that later on. All right, let's see, grammar. I've used the term verb, subject, simple predicate, nouns, verbs. I'll use them, transitional adverb. Grammar. Last year in the videos 44.1 up through 72.1, mixed in with Greek mythology. You have to look at the description if you only want to look at the grammar. There's where I taught virtually a complete grammar of the English language. And I did that to get ready for this moment in a foreign language, so you can speak about these words and already understand the grammar. Linguistics, I talked about cognates yesterday. I'm going to talk about inflections more. And last year, linguistics 35.1 to 42.1, that's where I taught about linguistics. Again, getting my viewers ready to study foreign language. Okay, finally, these two guys, Pope Francis. We have a new pope, and he named himself Francis. That could be historic. And what it has to do with this class is over here. You probably can't see it, but before the year's over, I'm going to guide you. I'm going to teach my way through one more film, and that film, I've told you already, is going to be Brother, Sun, Sister, Moon. It's about the young St. Francis of Assisi. Well, suddenly, the world has turned their attention back on St. Francis of Assisi. And what they did immediately was leap on his poverty. He took an oath of poverty. One of the few men who ever argued that wealth does not make you happy. Very few. I talked about this last year. Henry David Thoreau was one, Jesus was one, and St. Francis of Assisi. They're the ones that leap to mind. So, now St. Francis also loved animals very much, and I'm waiting for that to kick in as well. And over here I sort of, maybe I should, let me try turning the camera just a little bit here. I haven't done this yet, but it should work. If I do that, I think maybe you can see my plans for the year over here. Up here, what other movie? Brother, Sun, Sister, Moon. Now, St. Francis and his love of animals. Well, extreme recycling. Abysses. Kilocalories as currency. These have to do with saving the planet. These have to do with a huge paradigm shift in thinking. And now, Jeremy Grantham, before yesterday I didn't even know his name. I'm not sure if you can actually still see this, but it was on earlier. Jeremy Grantham, on the program Charlie Rose, my wife told me about it. She said, hey, there's a man on there who's talking like you've always talked. And I thought, well, after a day or two, I thought, well, I'll go take a look. And sure enough, as soon as I heard him give the example as a gallon of gasoline is equal to 250 man-hours. I think he said, he might have said man-days. I think he said man-hours. A gallon of gasoline equals 250 man-hours. By what measure? By kilocalories. By kilocalories. And he is applying kilocalories as currency. And poor Charlie Rose, he didn't really have a clue. I mean, he did fine, but that is such a different way of thinking. And so as a matter of fact, there's a revolution involved here, potentially. I've said that before. These two men could profoundly change things. I don't want to launch into that because I'm not right now. I'm trying to teach you that there are reasons to love German. That's my subject. But I had to mention this because this week these two things happened, and it is absolutely part of this course. See you tomorrow.